Hello everybody, we are in week 2 and I am open up to module 2. This week we're actually going to have 2 modules, module 2 and 3. So the first week of the class, I give you some time to get acquainted with everything in terms of the structure of the class and what you would be responsible for. And you had to submit your bios. I've been going through those and enjoying kind of finding out a little bit more about each of you. Now this week is where the pace of the class picks up a little bit. As you'll notice, we have either 2 modules as we do this week. Next week we'll have 3 modules, then 3 modules, then 2 modules until we finish in week 6 with 2 modules. So from this point on, you're either going to have 2 or 3 modules a week. And so that's just to kind of give you a little bit of an overview for the 6 weeks that we are together. So here in module 2, we're covering chapter 3, talking about stress, its meaning, its impact, and the different sources of stress. So I have your to-do list here, which lays out for you all of the readings, videos, and discussion board posting. If you scroll on down, you'll find that I have the objectives for the physiological modules that are embedded within chapter 2. So if you recall from last week, or the Start Here menu, I mentioned in one of those podcasts that we would be covering the different systems of the body as we cover certain chapters. So all of chapter 2 is broken down into 6 systems of the body, starting with the nervous system and the endocrine system. And we're going to, instead of covering all of those systems of the body all at once, which is really dense and a lot of material, it's a lot of physiology, we're going to split it up. And we're going to cover the various systems that pertain to the material that we're covering in the book overall. So it's kind of nice how the authors have set the book up to where you could tackle it in one chapter if you wanted to, or you could break it up and tackle it over the course of all the chapters that we cover. So the first 2 modules that we're going to be covering in the physio stuff are the nervous system and the endocrine system. So you're going to be looking at how the nervous system is set up, its various components, and how it responds to stress. So that's the big topic this week. We're going to be covering stress mostly in modules 2 and 3. And then the endocrine system, which is also very entwined in the stress response. It's responsible for secreting all the hormones that come into play when we're stressed out. And so the 2 work really nicely together. So I've outlined for you all of this in the podcast. So if you click here, I do a podcast that goes over all of these objectives, including chapter 3. So you'll want to listen to that. I've included the lecture slides for chapter 3. Again, a link to the different animations that cover the physiology in those physiological modules. So if you want to check that out. There is a video assignment this week. It's your first video assignment. You're going to be watching a video called Stress, Portrait of a Killer. I've included the worksheet here for you. It's an attached file, which you're going to need for the video assignment. So the first thing you're going to do is click into here and watch the video. It's about an hour long. It's a great video. I love this video. And it's going to pertain to so much of what we do over the course of our time together. And once you've watched the video, or while you're watching the video, I should say, you want to complete the worksheet, which is attached here. And that's what you're going to be turning in for the video assignment. So you can attach that worksheet as a PDF, or whatever works for you. You can cut and paste it. I don't really care as long as you turn it in, and you're going to turn it in by clicking onto this video assignment link, and it lets you attach a file. So for you, if it works best to, you know, write it out in pen as you're watching the video, or type it out on your computer while you're watching the video, and then, you know, PDF it to me, that's great. Your discussion for Module 2 is centered around the longevity reading. This week you're reading Chapter 3 in the longevity book, which deals with sociability. Do you have a sociable personality? And are you a good emotional communicator? So you're going to be, again, this is where you're going to be doing the assessments that go along with the chapters. And just a note, Chapter 3 has 2 assessments. It has one for sociable personality, and it has one for emotional communication. So there are 2 little mini surveys embedded in the longevity Chapter 3 that you'll fill out. You'll score yourself according to the instructions, and then you're going to interpret your score. What does that mean? What'd you get? And then you'll answer the questions below. Please remember, as you're answering the questions below, that you want to be thorough. Please give examples using the termites that are being talked about. So the whole longevity project follows the term and subjects who are named the termites, right? And you know, you're going to get to know these people because they're going to keep coming up in each chapter. The same people get talked about. So go ahead and use examples, you know, who stand out to you that help answer the questions. Integrate in anything that you can that pertains to the main book by Serafino and Smith. So a lot of times there's some overlap, not always, but sometimes there is, and anytime there is, it's great if you can integrate that in. Basically show off what you learned in doing the longevity reading. So that will wrap up Module 2. So you have the video assignment, you have the longevity reading, and you have the Chapter 3 reading for the main textbook. And then you'll want to skip on over to Module 3.